Welcome, welcome, welcome to Scottish Watches Live this fine day, where today we are going to celebrate all things 2020 in the world of watches. It's been a pretty terrible year for lots of things, but there has been one or two horological highlights, and our team gathered today are going to choose their best, and then we're all going to vote as usual and have some chat and some fun. And probably, I don't know who will be, I suspect Lucy will probably be the one that gets most abuse today. Oh, just guessing. It might be Dave. It's normally Dave, but Ricky's not here, so we've got to pick a target from somewhere. But let's start as we normally do with intros, and top left of my screen is Mr. Sharp. So Dave, where are you and what are you wearing?
I am just outside Glasgow, as I have been for the last 9 months. And talking of 2020, I am wearing the new Accutron Space View 2020 limited edition, and it is awesome.
Very cool.
It looks so cool.
Good. And next up is Arthur.
Hey everybody, I'm Arthur. I'm Tick Tick Vroom on Instagram, and for the next couple weeks, I'm coming to you from Florida. And today I am wearing my IWC Top Gun chronograph.
In honor of Lewis Hamilton. And then next up is UK-based Sam. Sam, where are you and what are you wearing?
Hello, yep, so I'm Sam at Time on Our Hands on Instagram, coming from Tunbridge Kent in the UK, and I'm wearing my Oris Active, which, yeah, wear a lot, love it.
Very nice. Philogius, where are you? What are you wearing?
Hi guys, Philo here, Walrus Watch on Instagram. I'm wearing the Explorer 2, the 16570. Yeah, I just got it like last week. Absolutely thrilled with it.
Congrats.
Very nice. And then Lucy.
Hello, I'm Lucy. I'm the Watchbox Diaries on Instagram. I'm coming at you from England, sadly. Forever in England at the moment. Today I'm wearing a borrowed Omega Dynamic, if you can see that.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Is that borrowed or stolen?
Same thing.
It's borrowed. It goes back to the same watch box. It's just sitting there for a while, so I thought I'd give it a little bit of rest time.
Cool. Ralph, you're up next.
Yeah, hi, Ralph, coolpep_watches on Instagram from Dubai, and I'm wearing my Tudor Black Bay GMT today.
Very good. And last but by no means least, Stateside Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm from Colorado right now, and you can find me on Instagram at Sam and Her Watchbox. And today I'm just wearing my Timex Waterbury. Oh, I can't see. It's okay.
Good stuff. Excellent. So that is it in the chat. I see we have Gigi and we have Engineer Wannabe, the man who broke the Oris story. So do check out Engineer Wannabe's channel on YouTube, obviously after you've watched this and all the rest of it. So it's on with the show. We have 7 of you in the room today. So in theory, we only need 6 numbers, but to mess it up a bit and mess with everybody's heads and to make a 9 really mean a 9 and a 0 really mean you don't like it, we're going to let you keep all the numbers 0 to 9 and play around with that as you will. But who is going to be first up? Well, first up is going to be the first person that messaged to me and is therefore the person that managed to secure the watch that 4 of you wanted as your choice. And I'm sure that that is going to mean it's going to attract all the big zeros from all of the willing compatriots here. And so we're handing over to Floatlight Dave for this. It's on Fratello, the Silver Snoopy Award 50th anniversary. So first up, who else chose this? Who else wanted this?
I reckon UK Sam.
No, I thought it was too obvious.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I chose it, or tried to, because it is my favorite, but that might not be reflected in my score.
Yeah, in it to win it, I chose it too because it's so sweet and so positive.
Good stuff. Yep. Well, Dave, have you actually handled one of these yet? Because I'm thinking of giving you a technical rule out because no one's actually seen one in the flesh. So I'll just press samples.
I'm unwilling to answer that question.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know what no answer is as good as an answer.
In old Scottish court terminology, not proven is the verdict.
Yeah.
Yes, that should be a phrase used more often in the world of watches.
Yeah, not proven was the best ever court verdict, because it basically means yes, he did stab his mum to death, but we couldn't actually prove it, which is just the best way to come out of a trial.
So why is this the watch that brought a smile to your face in a general year of rubbishness?
Okay, so to be fair, there was a few options that I thought about for this, but I just kept coming back to this for a few reasons. Probably moreover than not because I am a complete and utter Omega fanboy, and you know what it does when it comes down to Speedmasters. They're my thing. I think there was a lot of hype around this watch anyway, and I think the beauty of it is that they managed to pull off something that combines a little bit of kind of irreverence and fun whilst being a really classy watch. You know, the last Snoopy that Sam's, you know, obviously last week was talking about is an amazing watch as well, but you know, I don't think it's quite as classy looking as a watch as this. I think that blue with that kind of silvery off-white on it just looks amazing. It's a fantastic looking watch. The whole movement on the back, you know, that hidden little Easter egg on the back of the case back as well is where they put all the kind of real fun for it for me. But whilst bringing something to the Speedmaster that's really not been there before, you know, that kind of, there's been some fantastic case backs, but having that kind of automation on the case back just really is a cracking little Easter egg, and it's a proper talking point that if someone maybe wants to talk about the watch or you hand it to them, you just don't talk about the back until they flick it over and have a quick look, and suddenly like it dawns on them what's going on there. It's such a good tactile piece. It's going to be one of these pieces that you can take as many photographs and videos of it as you want, but until you get one in your hand and actually play with it, which kind of I think gives another drawback to, you know, mechanical timepieces and that tactility to them. This is something that's going to be, you'll want to physically actually hold it, start the chrono, stop the chrono, watch it actually moving. So I think it's, you know, it puts a smile in, you know, it'll put a smile in pretty much anyone's face. I'm sure there'll be plenty of folk who'll say, why would you want to put a cartoon character on a watch, etc., etc. But you know, it's got, you know, there's a genuine story behind it. And actually, if you look a bit deeper into Snoopy's relevance with NASA and with the space program, the safety awards, everything that it actually stands for, whilst it is quite a cuddly cartoon character, there is a genuine serious message to it, and it really kind of, you know, brought around a wholesale change in mindset with safety at NASA. And you know, ultimately, whilst there's been accidents since it was introduced, ultimately there definitely has people's lives have been saved, you know, by the whole kind of Snoopy award there as well. In regards to the watch, I think the other thing about it, 2020, there's no two ways about it, pardon my French, but it's been a shit year, you know, and it just is it's a shit year that keeps on giving more shit. And you know, one of the big things about this watch is it was introduced and it was meant to obviously have been on the market in small numbers round about when it was introduced, but then due to some how shall I put it politely, IT complications, some IT complications at Omega and within the Swatch group, it delayed it, which of course was just like getting another kick in the proverbials. So you launch a watch that everyone wants, and then they say, oh, by the way, you can't have it because some nefarious person somewhere decided to cause our IT structure to fail. But the news that I did find out today was that it's looking very much like the first few will be delivered just before Christmas. So if that is the case, then a couple of things is A, it's a pretty good way to round out a pretty shit year if that lands in your lap for Christmas. So that's a win. And even if it is late and it rocks up early in the new year, then it's a pretty good start to 2021, isn't it? So whatever way you look at it, it's a cool looking watch with some really unique little points of difference in it. Whilst looking pretty classy, you could pull it off with a suit and not worry about it. And it's just a cool watch. And, you know, also it's not limited edition. That's a win in my book, you know? So yeah, it'll be hard to get for the first, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, but there'll be a little bit of scalping goes on. But ultimately, if you want one and you want to pay list for it, as long as you're willing to hang on a little bit, you will most likely get one. So there you go.
Dave's got one in the post. Who else is tempted to get one of these? Has anyone else actually ordered one?
Well, I'm on a list, but
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
So
My dealer
three
says
of
I'll
you
get it.
are going to end up with this watch. That's three of you that Lucy is going to fall out with due to characters on watches. Anything of
People.
sorry?
I don't mind them on other people. It's their choice. You know.
They are amazing, and it's like it will also match because I'm lucky enough I've actually got a silver Snoopy pin, so it'll cheer me up having it beside that.
Okay. And so Arthur and Ralph, who are also looking for one of these, what particularly attracts you to them?
Well, first of all, yeah, I think for me, it's for my taste, the best looking silver Snoopy they've done. I really love that blue panda dial look, and the fact that the dial is actually more of a silver than a white. I think is really cool. I'm really into space history, and I work in aerospace, so knowing the real history of the Silver Snoopy Award, and to be honest, the case back, it's a bit of a gimmick, but I love it. The moment I saw that, I was totally sold. Because I just love things to play with. That's one reason I love chronographs, and it's really fun.
Is this going to be a joint purchase in the Tick Tick Boom family?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
And Ralph, why were you particularly attracted to this?
Well, I always wanted to have a Speedmaster, and still don't have any. So I thought, well, there's a few sides of the moon that were quite interesting, but then this Snoopy came along, and I think this is just amazing. I mean, we have Woodpecker on it as well, so
yeah. What
can you want? I mean, it's amazing. It's just a lovely watch. So I think, yeah.
Well, let's give it some votes. Bearing in mind, some of you also wanted this watch in your choices and were sadly beaten to it by Dave, so I expect the scores to reflect personality as well as what you think of the watch. But let's give it some votes. So first up, voting for this is going to be a stateside Sam.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Let me...
Just remember before you vote that zeros will result in inflicted violence at some point in the future.
I know, I keep scoring you like zeros every week. I'm sorry, but not this week. I'm giving it a solid 5, okay?
Solid 5.
You will survive for another week.
UK-based Sam.
Yeah, obviously massive fan of Snoopy. Love the watch. Can't wait to actually just see one in person. So it's 7 from me.
Good. Don't forget to give your scores in the chat and suggesting the watches that are also viewer 2020 picks. Next up to vote is Lucy. It's got a cartoon character on the watch.
It does, but it's not like horrendous. The rest of the watch itself is really lovely, so it's a 4. There you go.
A 4's not a 0.
Surprising people, exactly.
4 will result in a painless death. Anything more than that, yeah.
Like to see a try.
Okay, so I just now publicise our new channel, Scottish Watches Fight Club. Lucy and Dave as the first death match.
I did say I'm originally from Tamworth, so
that's good.
That's a good point.
Might want to rethink your threats.
August, give it a vote.
Yeah, I hope I don't regret this later, but it's a 9.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking, I'm pretty sure there are other watches that were probably better in mechanical watchmaking. But if you're talking about smiles on faces, if Snoopy doesn't put a smile on your face, I mean, what else will?
Yeah.
On
rare but valid point.
Yeah, I think on that point as well, the interesting thing about that is it has got the new movement in it, and actually from an accuracy and technical perspective, yes, you'll maybe get better finished. Yes, you'll maybe get more complications or whatever. But actually, from an accuracy and quality point of view, you'll struggle no matter what you spend to get a better and actually better movement than that movement that's in that watch.
Does Arthur agree, or does he just want it more than you do?
Today, I'm going to take the philosophy of rating the watches rather than the person. So I'm going to be honest and not take revenge. And I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8. Very good. And Ralph, are you going to be as magnanimous, or are you going to be German?
Same 8, just not giving the 9 because it's not my pick, but it would have been.
Excellent. Well, next up is an interesting, and a lot of the choices there are reflective really of the companies that have probably had a good year. But next up is Stateside Sam, and she's going to have to justify for herself this particular choice. This is the new Chronomat range from Breitling. I'm hoping this is the right ones that I've picked, the 56s and the 52s. In particular, the one I like, I really like this green.
That one's my favorite. Yeah, that is the one.
So,
I love that one.
Tell us all about what Breitling have been up to, and why this could be considered a Smiles watch of the year.
Yeah, this one was just a surprise for me overall. 2020 was full of surprises, but this one was a good surprise for me. I'm not a huge fan of Breitling. It's not really my thing. Sorry, Dan, if you're watching. But I just really enjoyed this whole line. We were actually, me and other Sam and Lucy were talking about Breitling the other day, and just how like the
you can't tell anybody about
that. What'd you
say? You can't tell anybody about that yet.
Oh, we were talking.
You were speaking to. We were just talking in general.
We were just talking. We were just talking about Breitling and how the previous this year there was also another Chronomat, the 42 Chronograph that was brought out this year, and that actually won the GPHG iconic line, and how we were saying that they kind of brought back that vintage look and that vibe that really worked. The Chronomat's been out since 1984, and so I liked how they brought back that timeless design. I really enjoyed that. That bracelet, I really that's what caught my eye the first time I saw it. It looks so good. It has that sporty feel, but very classy still. I think for women in particular, they could really make it look that sporty watch, or just change up with a nice strap and make it a little bit dressy, especially since this specific line has the regular clean bezel or the ones that have diamonds in it. So I really liked how they played the field with this line, whereas some watches kind of go for, we'll make women's watches, but we're gonna just put tons and tons of diamonds in it and just throw it at you and think, oh yeah, this is what you're gonna like, right? So I like how they kind of gave a little bit of both worlds for those women that want something sparklier, something a little bit more eye-catching, something maybe they want as more of an accessory than as a timepiece, but also having that classic clean look. The green mint dial is my favorite. I absolutely love it. And it ranges about from, depending if you want the diamonds, and also there's like a solid gold one, from like 4,000 to like 20,000. So depending on your price range, I feel like it's manageable. But I just felt like it was just a very surprise thing from Breitling. It's not busy. They came out with a Navitimer this year as well, and it's very busy to me. It's not something that I'm a fan of personally. So I like the cleanness of this.
Good. Apologies if my sound is slightly dodgy. Dave is reporting that it is. Can everybody else hear me okay at the moment, or is it sounding a bit laggy and horrible?
Not laggy, it just sounds like you've got a bag over your head and you're in the back of a transit van at this point in time.
That's why Ricky's not here. Good stuff. Right, let's give this some votes then. Breitling. So first up to give it a vote is going to be returning in favour of Sam's 5. It is going to be Dave. So
I am going to give that. And I again am not a particularly massive Breitling fan. The classic Navitimer is always good, but actually that's going to get a solid 6 because that bracelet is amazing. It looks fantastic. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what Tudor have just brought out as well with the Royale. Simple. If you get a stainless steel watch, inexpensive. You get plain one, you get a diamond one, you get some nice dial colors in it. The only thing I don't like about it is even on the plain bezel, those kind of superimposed numbers at kind of 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If it had just been either a smooth bezel or something without that relief on it, it would have been pretty much bang on perfect. But cracking looking watch, and you wouldn't be unhappy if you had one. And for the money, it's a fantastic entry.
Yeah, I'm really upset because the day they came out, I was right near the Breitling boutique where I live, and I didn't ask if they had them yet, and I really should have, because I was curious to see that, if that was something that would really bother me. But I'll go back soon.
Yeah, but no, solid looking watch. Nice alternative to a Black Bay or something if someone wants a nice entry level watch for, what is it, 3K UK roughly for a stainless one. Nice option.
Yep. A UK Sam.
Yeah, love it. Agree with everything Sam said, and I think I sort of like the original Chronomats, and I think Breitling went a little bit off track with re-releasing like the Navitimer that's not a Navitimer because it's not a chronograph, and it's they put diamonds on it, and I know, but I think this sort of reissues like the Chronomat. Yeah, I do really like it. I really like the green dial as well, and the bracelet. So it's an 8 from me.
Very good, very good. Lucy, no cartoon characters in this watch.
There isn't. No, I really like it. I like that there's customization options to it. If you want it nice and simple and plain, you've got those options. If you want to add diamonds, if you want to add colour, you do have the option. Also quite like the bracelet as well. It's, we don't see them like that very often. So it is a middle of the road. It's a 5 for me.
I love this.
I don't know what's coming.
Like this.
Yeah, it's a 6 from me. I love it. I love the size. You don't find many sports watches in that size nowadays, especially not with this many colors, this many variations. So it's a really cool watch. I just wish the bezel was, like a dive bezel or something, or completely smooth. So, yeah.
Alrighty, Arthur.
I do think it's the best thing Breitling did this year, but me, that's not necessarily saying that much. I actually do like it quite a lot, but I'm with Dave and Philo that the bezel's the only thing that's a bit iffy for me. But they stuck with their design language for that watch, so
sure.
I get a 3.
And Ralph, finally.
7 from me here, because it's innovative. It's a new design. It's still a Breitling. Breitling is back, I think. They have won 2 GPHG awards. So I think there's something going on with them, and I think they're on the right track. And I have a soft spot for Breitling in any case. So.
Yeah, you're going to want to listen to Monday's podcast for commentary on Breitling winning 2 GPHG awards. That is. So tune in for that on Monday. But in the meantime, you can see about justifying this choice. And this is the choice from UK Sam, and it is the Oris Holstein edition. So
Yeah.
So kind of cheated a little bit. Obviously, fantastic watch, but I also think fantastic year for Oris as a whole. I think their popularity has grown, their awareness of, about the brand, people are sort of really learning about them, loving what they do. So I'll say a little bit about the watch and maybe a little bit more about why I just love Oris really. So this is the first watch with a bronze bracelet. So a lot of brands have the bronze cases, but this is the first one that has a bronze bracelet as well. Got the Oris there on the back. Everyone loves Oris there. Competed with Snoopy a little bit there, but Oris there has tighter trousers. I don't know if anyone's noticed. But
has what?
He has quite tight trousers. If you look at any pictures of Oris there.
I haven't really been looking at how tight his trousers are, Sam.
You won't be able to unsee it. I'll see it now. But yeah, it's a really fun watch. Obviously the bronze wears really well. Rolf himself has got a bronze Diver 65, and the photos of it gorgeous. Whenever he talks about it, he's always really passionate about how he wears it when he takes his daughter to the beach, and how the patina just reminds him of the time spent at the beach with his daughter. And yeah, I just think it's almost like sort of a thanks you know, what watch are we thankful for this year? I think Oris is the brand. Just kind of got to say thanks to them, all the good causes that they've done during lockdown, like the sort of Oris enthusiasts are sort of really sending out gift packages and things like that, and the initiative, the Help the Heroes initiative, where they sent out like 50 watches, I think it was in the end, to you know, frontline workers and things like that. So yeah, that kind of
There's Oris bearing his pleasures.
I don't even know whether that's tight or whether he's just got that gut that hangs over.
No, I'll send you another photo. He's
Sam,
been sliding into my DMs.
Yeah, Sam, there's not a picture of me and you, Sam, with Oris Bear in America that's highly inappropriate, is there?
I think Stephanie's in one of those too.
Yes.
Let's just say he's packing more than a holster.
Well,
Slightly more disturbing with the actual 3D sculpture than it is with the cartoon on paper.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Especially on side profile. Side profile, it gets real interesting.
okay then. So
Less bear, more horse.
Let's score the watch rather than the bear, shall we? So Dave, give Sam a vote for choice of yours, Holstein edition.
I've actually, luckily, I've got one of these, which I very luckily got in my matching limited number. It's going to be a 7 from me. It is a fantastic watch. It's really cool. You're right, the wee bear on the back is pretty cute, and it's beginning to patina up properly nicely. So it's now more a dirty bear than a clean bear, which we've just discussed anyway. But it's really cool because when it comes out the box as well, with the whole watch with the strap and the case being bronze, but the dial being actually a gold dial on it, it all looks very similar color-wise. But as the case darkens and the bracelet darkens, you begin to see the gold dial really begin to pop out of the watch as well. So as it ages, it just looks like a different watch now, and it is really cool. The only side strange thing is it has a specifically pungent aroma, because bronze definitely has quite a metallic-y smell to it as well. So don't ever lick it, because it's not pleasant, because I made that mistake when I was drunk.
Why are you licking watches anyway?
I was dared, and usually when I'm drunk and someone says do that, I usually do it. Oh, I shouldn't have told you that, should I?
But yeah. Next watch meetup, it's happening.
That's not going to come back to bite you.
It's not me being bitten that you need to worry about.
Stateside Sam, what's your vote?
I'm giving it a solid 6. I really like it.
Good stuff. And Lucy, don't be afraid of the bear.
Bears on the back, it's fine.
True.
That's cute, you know. Yeah, love what Oris are doing this year. Love the bronze, something a bit different. I would be intrigued to see how the bronze patinas and how it ages, especially on the bracelet. So Dave, send some pictures in.
There's a good article on Hodinkee as well, where it's just started to patina.
I'll send pictures, no problem. Oh, sorry, pictures of the watch. I'll send pictures of the watch.
Of the watch, please.
We can see your patina already. No, that's okay.
And I thought not having Ricky on the show today was going to make it cleaner how wrong I was.
Sorry, I'm not even on the wine today either.
It's all about suggestion, Rick. All about suggestion.
Philogius, what's your point suggestion for this?
Yeah, it's a 3 for me. I've never been a fan of bronze. I mean, it's a great looking watch, but I just can't imagine wearing a patinaed one on my wrist. So Oris is great though. Bear's really cute.
There you go.
That makes all the difference. Arthur?
Kind of right in the middle of the road for me. I'm not also a huge bronze fan, but I think it's a beautiful design. So I'm going to save my big scores for later. Give this a 4.
A 4. And finally for this round, Ralph?
I think it's a cracking watch. I give it a 9. It smells like your grandmother's wallet.
Yeah.
So brings back memories, I guess. So
how much did you take from there?
Yeah, it's funny. It
Yeah.
actually does smell like, it smells like, and this is a peculiarly British thing and an old thing. You might remember this, Rick.
Brace yourself.
When 1 and 2 pence coins were actually
Yeah.
metal.
Oh,
And do you
Mm.
remember like if you get like a pocket full of change and you would get that kind of
Yes.
smell in your fingers?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically, it's exactly what it smells like.
Oh my
the
goodness.
2 pence coin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And does the watch
Yeah.
clean up in the same way if you either dip it in HP sauce or in full fat Coca-Cola?
Yeah, actually, I tried it actually with I left the watch itself to patina up, but a couple of links I took out, and I just left them sitting on the windowsill just to kind of patina in the air and the sun and stuff. And they went quite dark, and literally I just dunked them in brown sauce, left them for about 2 or 3 minutes, washed it under the tap, and it was back to straight, bright, shiny.
I don't think any of our American listeners or indeed participants will know what brown sauce is. Is there an equivalent in the States to brown sauce?
How do you even describe brown sauce, though?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's-
The best thing ever in the world, full stop.
it is just so much better than ketchup. There's just no competition.
I think I've had it in the UK, and yeah, I don't think we have anything comparable.
There's the north-south divide as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Is it like
Yeah.
south of Midlands?
You learn very quickly when you're a child. You learn very quickly that when your mother tells you that you must eat whatever in front of you, that you have brown sauce with everything, because it will disguise the taste of anything known to mankind. And as long as you like brown sauce, everything becomes edible. It's a win.
Although
Does it
probably
not?
illegal in the States, so that's probably why you don't know what it is.
I should
Yeah.
have had this as a child, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I was thinking, does it not worry you that if you put your watch pieces in brown sauce and it does that to the watch, what does it do to your stomach?
All I'm going to say is, if that's your theory, never drink Coca-Cola
Or Iron Brew.
or
Yeah,
Iron Brew or
Yeah.
anything with sugar in it. Yeah.
so much.
Anyway, right, that's good scores there. But next up is another Oris. Oris have been having a good year, and we've got 2 choices here. So it's Lucy to tell us as to whether this particular Oris is better than the Oris we've just had. Basically, it's a fight between Sam
So,
and
and it's
Lucy.
an Oris off.
An Oris off. This is the Oris Roberto Clemente. Something to do with overarm cricket or underarm cricket or something. I don't really get it. But this is
Children's cricket.
children's baby cricket.
Yeah.
So rounders.
Rounders. Yeah.
Oh no, rounders is tougher than this. Come on.
I would take offense if I cared at all about baseball, but I don't.
Yeah, I didn't pick this for baseball, unfortunately, although I do like the combination of sports and watches. I picked this because I absolutely loved it. Tried it on in the Midlands. He's doing his counting there. And it fits like an absolute dream. It's 40 mil, obviously based on the big crown pointed 8. But Oris, like as Sam was saying, has been doing so incredibly well this year. They're definitely heading in the right direction for more noticeability, I guess. People are actually just discovering Oris a bit more now. Always loved this design anyway of the big crowns, but I like that this is also helps towards a good cause. So the foundation, sorry, a bit comfortable. The Roberto Clemente Foundation actually partnered up with Oris on this. And I believe they help teach young or underprivileged children, help get them into sports as well. So there's that side of things as well, a little bit of heartwarming feelings. And the way that they've created it is really good as well. So the dial and the details are sort of based on his uniform that he wore. The 3000 edition he was on 3,000 hits in his career before he passed as well. So there's little bits like that. So the strap as well is sort of based on a baseball mitt. And I love how that's all come together, and it's just visually a beautiful watch. So, and I love the loom on it as well. With the cathedral hands.
Yes, I do like this watch. I'm not a big fan of the normal Oris pointed 8, but this is a particularly attractive version of it. anybody got this watch, or anybody else seen it up close and personal?
I've not got it, but I've seen it. I've got a couple of other variants of that watch in different dials, but that dial is pretty hot.
It is nice. It is nice. So let's take to the vote. First up is Dave, who's just finished speaking. Vote for Lucy.
I feel generous.
Are you going to go the watch or the person?
Oh no, I'm going to go for a combination. There we go.
Off the road.
It's genuinely a lovely watch, and you're right. I think Oris actually, and not just in lots of watches, they do kind of charitable things, whether it's Clean the Ocean, these kind of foundations, educational foundations. You know, there's a lot of watches that they do. So they kind of do limited editions, but tie in with maybe something of a good cause like that, and they don't tend to make the dials overt. So, you know, like the case back's usually quite cool, but ultimately you can wear the watch and no one would really know that it's a X, Y, or Z, but you know. So yeah, I really like them, and they wear super well, and they are a great company. So yeah, absolutely. Solid 5.
Good stuff. So after Dave's combo vote of 5, which means he basically gave Lucy a 2 and a 3, then we have Stateside Sam.
I like this too. I really enjoy it. I thought it was really cool. I mean, I wouldn't personally get it, but I think it's a 4. Can't see any of my numbers.
Right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And UK Sam, you have Oris for the
love it. I mean, I was also going to go for that watch between that and the bronze. But yeah, can't wait to see one in person. I know I'm going to love it, and it might even be sort of a next watch. I'm going to go for 6.
A 6. And then August.
Yeah, it's a 4 from me. It's a great looking watch, great cost. Oris is a very awesome brand because of all the works that they do. And just not for me, so yeah.
And Arthur, this is the Oris for you.
Similar, I think the theme, I'm not really a baseball guy. I couldn't see myself buying it and wearing it and feeling like I authentically understood what it was about. But I think aesthetically it's really, really nice. So with what I'm left with, I'm going to give it a 5.
Good stuff. Finally, Ralph.
I don't like pointer dates. Really, I don't like pointer dates. I don't like cathedral hands, but I did play baseball, and I think in general I like that watch, and I like their social engagement, so it gets a 4.
You're like your very own Statler and Waldorf there.
And hopefully Dan's listening in, because remember, Dan, nobody likes pointer dates. Mark 40 Speedmasters pointer dates.
To be honest, whenever I see a pointer date, I'm like, this is a really crap GMT that looks like it has 31 hours on the dial.
I really like them. They've got a vintage vibe to them. So.
No, I don't hate them, but I do see that whenever I see that extra hand, I'm like, no, that's not a GMT.
No.
Okay, well, we still seem to be suffering from some sound problems. I'm not hiding inside a tractor. I am where I always am.
No one's paid the ransom yet, and they won't be paying either.
But you probably could pay the ransom with this next choice, which is from Philogis. And this was a bit more, it was clearly some Philogis thought went into this. This is from JLC.
Ooh.
This is the Master Control Chronograph calendar. So why this bring a smile to your face this year, Philo?
Yeah, so this one is a bit more personal, I guess, because Watches and Wonders launched when Singapore was right in the middle of our lockdown. It was a really shitty time, and this was the best watch in that period from the entire launch for me. I was amazed at the amount of value they got. I mean, it's not cheap. It's like 14.5 US, from what I understand. But you get a automatic chrono, you get an annual calendar. It's all in-house, and it's in a really nice, small, wearable package. I mean, a lot of chronographs are thick. At the risk of getting really low votes from Dave, Speedmasters, I mean, they are like 13 and upwards, and those are manual wines. I know that there's probably a valid reason why that is so, but you know, it's just way more wearable than the most than most chronos you get, and it has an annual calendar. So to get this kind of complications in this kind of, you know, in this kind of package, in this kind of price, you don't get it anywhere. It's something like I could actually see myself getting one day. And I just thought it was an amazing watch, something, you know, to look forward to when things all get better.
Yeah, it's a lovely choice. Lovely choice. It certainly wouldn't sprung to mind for me for a watch of the year, but yeah, it's a great effort from GLC and reasonably priced when you add all the bits together. What's everybody else's thoughts on this? Let's Dave, why is a Speedmaster so thick?
Let's just not have this conversation. It's a completely, to me, it's a totally different watch. But I actually very, very much do like this watch. You know, GLC is a funny brand, you know, like a lot of people just instantly think Roberto, and that's all they ever think of it. But they do some fantastic watches in there. I actually really like it. It's a fantastic package. You know, one thing, you know, they are the old saying goes with GLC, isn't it? They're the watchmaker's watchmaker, and it is true. They do some fantastic movements, and it's just a great looking package for a, you know, it's not cheap, but it's relatively speaking good value for what you're getting compared to what you'll get from pretty much anyone else, and it'll be as well made and as well thought out as you'll get from anyone else as well. So as a surprise, you could have an 8.
Oh, jumping ahead. But yeah, let's give it some votes. So an 8 from Dave. Stateside Sam, you're up next. What would
It's
you
a
vote this?
7.
Oh, very good. This might do quite well, I fear. UK Sam.
I'm kind of used up a lot of my high numbers, but yeah, do really like it. I think it's the size and the value for money, definitely good. 5.
Yeah, 5. Lucy.
6.
6 from Lucy.
Yeah.
And
Pretty good.
Arthur. You've been buying chronographs recently. What do you think of this one?
I absolutely love it. I think I love the complications, the overall design. They've also managed to, as JLC can do, ride this very, very fine line between dressy and slightly more casual. And I think it could be dressed up or down really well. I forgot about this one, and you reminded me this is probably one of my favorites of the year. So I'm giving it a 9.
Very good. And finally, Ralph, are you up there in the 9s or down in the 0s?
No, in the 6. Love JLC. It's a great brand, and still want a Polaris one day. But yeah, this is a good choice. I like it.
Good stuff. We have 2 watches left to discuss. So who is up next?
I was actually just thinking, like, how many are left? So
Yes,
Yeah.
so
All my numbers
we have 2 left, and we have something a bit left field from Arthur, who I think is just trying to get brownie points within his household. He is nominating this particular Zenith, I hope. It's the one I've got on the screen.
Yes.
Nepotism. I'm calling nepotism.
This is the Zenith Defy Midnight Blue Gradient. This is the watch. Did you buy this for your wife, or did your wife buy it for herself?
She bought it for herself.
All right.
Yeah, but for both of us, one of our favorite releases of the year. So this is a 36 millimeter version of the Zenith Defy. Again, they've marketed it towards ladies. There are diamonds on the dial subtly in the steel bezel versions, but then you can also go full bling if you want. To me, the star of the show is the blue gradient dial, and the pictures Zenith uses don't really do it justice in person with how it shifts in the light. It's really, the pictures make it look like light blue to dark blue. It's more really of a blue to black transition. So, and there's tiny little stars all over the dial, some of which are loomed, which is just fun. So in terms of putting a smile on your face, it sure does it. I think the proportions are a little better than the 41 millimeter models that they primarily market towards men. The ingenious thing about this, though, is like some other brands have been doing, they've done a really, really easy quick release mechanism for the bracelet. It's just simply a button on the back of each end link. And rather than leaving you to buy proprietary straps later, they include 3 straps in the box. So it's almost like a watch, like a one watch collection in a box. And it's amazing how on Stephanie, she can dress it up or down, take it from, this says some more casual rubber straps with fabric outer portions. There's ones that match the dial and make it look dressy, or she can go with the full on the bling look on the bracelet. So to me, I think it's one of the prettiest watches I've seen all year, particularly in the blue. And I just think Zenith put together like a really compelling package here. And depending upon your taste, you can pick color, you can pick, your strap or your bracelet on a given day, and you're not compromising it. If you want the one with the diamond bezel and the more sort of jewelry look, you're still getting the Zenith Elite caliber in there too. So it's some pretty serious package of watchmaking too. And it makes me smile. So there you go.
Has it got an open case back?
It does, yeah. And it's the really cool star-shaped rotor that they use on a lot of these.
Yep.
When I saw this watch come out, I was basically like, it's like Zenith went inside my wife Stephanie's brain and figured out like what her dream watch would be and then put it in the metal. So yeah, it's my favorite.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love the case design of these in all the various sizes. I do think it is probably my favorite case design of any watch type.
I think it's a cool alternative to things like, an Oyster Perpetual or a Date Just or whatever. That's just got so much more personality to me. So that's kind of the kicker.
Good. Well, let's see if everybody else agrees. Dave, what are you giving the Zenith?
So we started off, we started with high hopes, and then it went to 0 because I know your game and I know exactly what you're trying to do, buttering Stephanie up on a Friday night. That's just outrageous. But then you pulled out a solid watch, and it is a great watch. The bracelet on those is fantastic. It's very similar to the bracelet on the bigger El Primero split seconds. That kind of integrated look, and it is fantastic. It's super easy to swap. That blue dial, I can't decide between that and the kind of chocolate brown coffee dial. I think it looks amazing as well. It's a nice size, everything about it, and it's a great looking watch. And as a surprise, you managed to get to a 9.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't take vengeance upon you for picking the Snoopy. Seems like it paid off. Thanks, Dave.
Good stuff. I'm hoping I've just resolved my audio problem as well.
You have.
Yeah, sounds a lot better.
So you sound a lot better, and you're also a lot poorer now. Imagine having to pay your own ransom. That's shocking.
The money finally transferred into the account. So sorry, Dave, I was distracted. What vote did you give that?
9.
A 9. Very good. Stateside Sam.
I love this watch too. I think me and Stephanie had the same idea. I tried on the 41 millimeter months and months ago, and I loved it, but I was like, it's just a little bit too big for me, a little bit too chunky. I wish they made it in like a 36, and they did. So it's an 8. It's great.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Good. UK Sam.
Initially, I was gonna go a little bit lower. It wasn't quite me, but I think you sold it to me with the integrated straps or the crossbone straps, and it looks fantastic on Stephanie. And yeah, open case off, I can just kind of fix that as well. So I'm going to give it my 9.
A 9.
Oh, thank you.
We have our first ladies' watch winner. Lucy.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as UK Sam. I wasn't sure to begin with. It's quite flashy for me, but you definitely sold it. I like the easy release bracelet because usually it's a bitch on straps.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, and the fact that it comes with 3 others as well, I think is really smart of them. And I love the gradient on it as well. So
a 9.
Got a 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Sold bling to me. Well done.
Another fun detail is that the straps have a deployant, and the deployant is quick connect to the strap ends as well. So it's all super easy.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, 9's justified.
Thanks, Lucy. That's good.
I think
Sorry, go on, Dave.
I was going to say, I think they're using that technology was the first put out with the group with tag on the second generation connected watch. that's got everything just clicks together. And as much as folk hate that watch, the way it's made and the way it goes together is amazing. The way the straps just click in and the deployment clicks in, it's absolutely amazing. It's a proper bit of engineering.
Saves a lot of scratch marks.
Yeah.
Well, Loggy, is this one for you, or are you gonna give it a big fat 0?
Yeah, there aren't many diamond indices watches that I would even consider buying for myself, and this was one of them. That is really amazing. The size is just perfect. So yeah, it's an 8.
Cool. And Ralph.
You get the highest number I've still left. It's a 5. Right?
I'll
Really love it. It's amazing. And I think that's something that my wife would love to. So
Send her the
have a serious
tape.
look.
So
I'm going to have to get looking into that, I think.
Good. Well, that then just leaves Ralph, who has rightly or wrongly left himself. I think this might backfire, Ralph. Sorry to tell you. Last week, I think you benefited from. Were you last week? I think you were, and so you just got all the 7s because that's what they had left. This week, I fear that there might be a bit of a backlash to this GPH award-winning Tudor Black Bay 58 navy blue.
Yes, and that's exactly what I wanted. That reaction. See, just put yourself back. I know it's hard, but put yourself back half a year, right? All the watch shows were canceled. All the watch brands basically said, "Yeah, not going to release anything this year. 2020 is a write-off. Screw 2020. Nothing's going to happen." And then suddenly Tudor started to tease, and then this little blue 39mm diver popped up, and all hell broke loose, right? And the hype train went through town multiple times. All the brands thought, "Oh my God, we missed it. Let's jump on the hype train." And they did. And every company afterwards started to release stuff during the pandemic because it was so successful. And it's not the most innovative watch, but sometimes just a different color is what everybody wanted, apparently. So there you go. I mean, it just opened the floodgate, and all the watch brands saw that during a pandemic, you can do a lot of business. You can restart everything. You can do marketing much cheaper. And they brought us all the Zoom releases and Zoom meetings from all the watch brands around the world releasing stuff. That's the reason why everything got so successful at the end of the year. So I think they single-handedly just kickstarted the watch industry out of their little pandemic sleep. So that's why it puts a smile on my face. And also I have one. So 1st of July.
Are those residual prices?
Well, I think it's okay. It's slightly above retail. So,
good.
But yeah.
Excellent. So, what does everybody think? Did Tudor save the Swiss watch industry during the pandemic by releasing this watch?
Totally.
You got people talking.
Yeah, and excited. People got excited.
It does not sound convinced.
It was mixed reviews. It was, I think people were expecting more than the watch was in terms of colour especially, but it got people talking about it. So love it or hate it, people were talking.
So the watch itself, I've got one as well. It's a lovely watch. I don't have a black, the black variant, the first variant, because I didn't like the gilded dial and stuff. It was lovely, but too fussy for me. That one aesthetically for me is perfect. So, yep, can't knock the watch itself. Did they kind of kickstart the watch industry again? I don't think so. I think the difference with them is Tudor is the same as Rolex in that they are an AD-led brand who don't want stuff sold online. They don't want, to embrace modern retailing to a certain extent. There was plenty of other brands did release things through the pandemic that jumped onto the market and stuff. I think it was different for Tudor. It was something that no one ever thought Tudor would do, which was drop a watch randomly without any warning, kind of out the blue. And as for it winning that award, I mean, come on. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely watch, don't get me wrong, but the category that it was in, there's nothing about the category it was in that tallied with that watch.
Challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was at least 3 or 4 other watches in there that actually did challenge in the true sense of the category. So I don't get why it won. It probably won because they're still trying to convince Rolex to enter the competition, and if they keep giving Tudor prizes for long enough, eventually Rolex will give in. Would be my take on it. But if we're going on to scores,
They don't go on score.
if you're on to score, you're only getting 1 because your opening pitch was, let's go back 6 months. No. Let's not go back 6 months.
See, that's it because of Tudor. They just fixed it 6 months ago. I tell you. See, even it's so polarizing. Even the 2 girls from 10 and 2, they said like, "Oh, rubbish! What a rubbish piece of engineering. The blue is just shit."
Oh,
no. And what did they say now? So they ate their words, and suddenly it's really nice.
It is a great watch, and anyone who thought Tudor were going to go somewhere left field needs their head read. You know, like they made that, well, I'll say mistake. They brought out the PO1, and that did cause controversy. And I've got one of them, and it's that's what I wish Tudor would do more of, or other brands for that sake, is do proper go left field on you.
Another Iconote.
Yeah, but exactly. But that, you know, if anyone expected them to bring out anything outlandish with a new Black Bay 58, they need their head read.
I think you're underappreciating the challenge that it is for Tudor to re-engineer their machines to put a different colour of bezel on a watch that they've had released for the last 3 years. I think that is a challenge.
It's a challenge.
The
I mean,
IT programming involved in that. It's an amazing effort.
True innovation.
The amount of I mean, that hits the bottom line of that charity. You know, it's like the charity can't be spending money willy-nilly like that. It's just outrageous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, little known fact: this color was designed by NASA. Snoopy. Really, seriously, no.
I love this watch. I really do love the blue. I mean, it's not that inventive, but I do enjoy it. And my highest number is a 9 and a 3. So I'm giving you a 9.
Oh, I thought I got the 12.
Boom!
No, awesome. Thank you.
UK Sam.
I love it. I see why it's popular. I just don't think it deserves to go too high. And I'm not going to use my 0, but I'm going to go low.
Yes.
Taking joy in other people's misery there. Lucy.
I'm Scottish. Come on.
It's the only joy we get. It's not raining the rest of the time.
It caused a lot of controversy, but it also didn't, because I think people were expecting a lot more out of it than, you know, a different blue. But I actually have one here, and they are much better in person than they were on any site, any pictures. Why is it always like the actual brand's marketing pictures are shit compared to, you know, watch nerds pictures? But it fits really well. You know, it's a really well made, nice watch. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Yay.
Not groundbreaking, but a good watch.
You talked it up so much there that I thought you were going to kick him on the way down, but you know you didn't.
No, I'm going to be 9. I like it.
Yeah.
Just doesn't want to damage the residuals of our own watch. Philogius.
Yeah, it's a 7 from me as well. Yeah, I think they absolutely nailed the shade of blue. and it's amazing how it feels. You can put it beside the original and it looks very different. I mean, the dimensions and all are the same, but it feels like a different watch. And it captures the other half of the market, you know, who didn't like the first one. And I think those who had, if they could afford it, they would probably get both as well. So it's a great watch.
Good old Arthur.
So today I vowed not to rate the person, and I'm not going to rate the story or the market impression. I'm just going to rate the watch. And
don't let me down, Arthur. Do not let me down.
Well, I was one of the people. I own the original, the gilt dial one, and I was one of those people that said this watch is unnecessary. They were lazy. All they did was change it to another shade of blue. But just looking at that watch on its own, if mine, the black dial, didn't exist, I probably would be buying the blue one. And on its own, as a watch, I really like it. I got to see one in person, a friend of mine's, and I get it more than I did before. So my choices are 0, 1, 2, 6, or 7. I think I'm going to go with the 6.
Where's my little black book? That name's another name for the book.
Don't worry, Dave. You haven't lost, I don't think, this week.
You know, Dave, we have a word for this.
It all came down.
I want to come in second.
It all came down to seeing it in person and just thinking about the object and not all of the market analysis and the complaining and the story and the questions about whether they were innovating. It's just a good watch. And
that I can't deny. It is definitely a good watch. It's a cracking looking watch. That's why I bought one. So yeah, absolutely. It's just someone has to get 0. Someone has to be the ire of my vitriol for this week.
Wait, have we given a 0 out yet?
Yeah. Oh no, I forgot about 0. Damn it.
No zeros have been given out today. There's been some 1s.
Look how nice we are.
But
I've not used my 0. Can I rescind my 1?
Yeah, you want a 0 in there.
Yeah, fuck it. Put it in. Oh, sorry, I swore there. Put it in. 0.
I think the election was already over.
Oh no. What's it?
You're curing the ballot. Oh no.
The result had been certified, right? That's it. The result is now certified, and there was 1 point in it between the JLC and the Speedmaster Snoopy until Arthur came along and wiped the floor with them. And on a score of 48, the winner is the Zenith Defy Midnight Blue Gradient watch.
Cool.
That was the one. That's the one that deserved it.
Yeah, second was the JLC, and then the Speedmaster Snoopy. Then the Oris Holstein, the Breitling Chronomat, and the Black Bay Blue, and bringing up the tail ender. No, that's what you get in cricket, isn't it? Tail enders. Bring it. Whoever it is, the last person to go in baseball was the Oris Roberto Clemente from Lucy. So there we go. That was a good effort, boys and girls. Enjoyed
good choices.
That one.
Yeah.
Some good choices there. Hopefully everybody in the chat enjoyed it. Apologies for some of the audio troubles early on, and shout out to the likes of engineer. I see Karen. Is it Karan? You always pronounce his name Karan, Arthur, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it not just Karen? Is he
That's what Dan calls him to really piss him off.
Right. That'll work. That's one view we've lost then. A shout out to the likes of Stanford and Mr. Ninja, who wanted a blue P01. Thanks to Derek and Damien, who are in the chat as well. That was good. Thanks for joining us. What is coming up this weekend, Arthur, on your show on Sunday, 12 noon US, 5 p.m. UK? What have you got for us?
Dan and I have a guest. We're having Ben Hodges from Fratello on our show. So
did me and Ricky sign off on that?
No, we just did it.
You just did it. That's fair, I suppose.
He's been a loyal follower all along, and he just did an interesting article on comparing the different aftermarket Speedy flat link bracelets. So I'm sure we're going to go down some Speedmaster rabbit holes with, should be fun.
Yeah, Ben's a good lad.
Excellent. That'll be a good show. Just tune into that on the same channel on Sunday. What have we got coming? We've got a good interview coming up on Monday featuring Ryan Schmidt from the Wristwatch Handbook. That is, well, I'm not sure how much of what we recorded will actually make the broadcast.
I've heard some of the outclips.
Have you heard some of the outclips already? If you want to send us some money, we will we'll let you into the WhatsApp chat, and you can share some of those outtakes. But that will be a good episode. And check out this week's great episode, which features 2 of our people on screen just now, Sam and Lucy. Or are you the Lucy twins or the Sam twins? Because there's already a Sam on here.
There's already 2 Sams.
Yeah. So do we just change one of you so there's 2 Lucys? Because I think by the end of the show we decided you were actually twins.
Yeah,
so
I think that's fair. Today. I know today we didn't.
Yeah, we like unintentionally matching.
Very good.
thousands
So
of miles
out,
away, and we're just like that connected.
check out that show as well, and there's lots more to come in the following weeks. So thank you for tuning in. We will say goodbye. So I'll ask this lot to say cheerio. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye